is my brother.
Hey, look, it's Joel. I think it's pretty safe to say that Last of Us 2 is a pretty big stinker, and it's nice that we had to wait 7 years for this. I mean, you could say all you want about the gameplay part of this game. The graphics are great, the cinematography's great, the soundtrack's great, the actual mechanics are, carbon copy from 2013. I mean, the only difference is you can prone and jump, pretty sure. But the story to their diehard fans that have been waiting for a game for this long, it's just so sad that they went this way and made one of the shittiest stories that I've ever seen. It's like a fan fiction on a Reddit page. It's ridiculous. It's so terrible. I think everyone should give the biggest shout out to the guy that leaked all this for saving us $60. I mean, thank God. It's so terrible. I feel bad for the people that dodged the leaks because they're just going to get such a shit stain of a game. I just wanted to start rambling on about what I think is the worst assets of the storyline, what I think made this thing an entire shithole. So my first complaint is the way they killed off Joel. Like, we all assumed that Joel was going to die, bring us tears, some kind of heart-aching thing to start this revenge story. But the way they did it was so disrespectful, and I feel they could have done it a million different ways. They could have done it like Lee Everett in the Walking Dead video game. They could have had it so he got bit and slowly changed. I felt that would have been better knowing that she was immune. I thought that would have been a way better way to kill off Joel. But no, they decided to take a golf club of any of the weapons. This guy was probably on a resort. One of the writers was probably on a resort in Florida playing golf, comes back and he's like, hey, I have an idea to kill off the most beloved character in this game. Let's take the golf club that I just got on my resort with my wife and let's use it on the favorite character. Let's do that. Another thing I find very disrespectful is the way they killed off Jesse, like just in the blink of an eye. I think that's ridiculous. They should have at least made it be a little more dramatic. I mean, he was a very important part of this game. He was the reason Dina was pregnant. I don't understand why they just killed him off in the blink of an eye. It's really disrespectful. After Joel passes away from the golf club accident, Ellie and Tommy are knocked out, and Ellie, after becoming conscious, is on revenge mode, trying to revenge Joel. And what she decides to do is go after all of Abby's friends until she can finally get Abby. And I find it stupid how she gets pretty much all her friends and then ends up not killing Abby in the end of the game. Like, if you want to go watch that and you're somehow only read the leaks and not actually what happens, like, visually, then you should go do that. It's terrible. It's stupid. Now, that is one way you can do it, or you can just listen to me talk about it. But I find it just the worst thing they could have done is to make this revenge story and then her not even finish through, not even follow through with what Joel would have done for her. One thing I do very much enjoy about the story is the fact that she's unable to pass on what Joel has taught her about playing the guitar. I thought that was very, heartbreaking, heart-wrenching. I thought that was a very sad thing to end the story, which is kind of shitty because everything about this is either sad or shitty or just makes you upset. But I thought that was one somewhat good, realistic thing that they did about this game. Another thing I really want to talk about is the fact that we have to play as Abby for 16 hours? It's like being forced to play as General Shepard from Modern Warfare 2 after he kills Ghost and Roach. You don't do that to your fans. You don't make them play as a character they all hate. You just don't do that. Now, something I find worse than wetting the bed at night is the fact that The Last of Us, if they ever make a third one, it has to revolve around the people you hate, which is Abby, and I forgot the person he was with. I think it's Leva, but it has to revolve around them now, and Ellie's going to just be a side character, because there's no way that Ellie's going to have to actually be a part of this game still. There's nothing she has left. There's nothing she can pick up from what she's done in this one. She's lost pretty much everything. And what would be an even bigger kick in the face would be the fact that we would probably have to wait another 7 years just to play as Abby, someone we hate. One thing I wish they did differently was to keep Joel for a lot longer. I feel that only having him for the first hour or two and having him be the sole purpose of doing what you're doing for the rest of the game is just a bad way of doing it, personally. I feel they could have done it a million different ways. I know people from the Fireflies were bound to come back, for what Joel did at the hospital, but I feel it would have been a lot better to have had him stick around and maybe have Joel and Ellie try and, keep him hidden. I think that would have been pretty cool if they could have just had it so they're trying to hide Joel for so long. Maybe she finds out about it while they're hiding together. Maybe he has to reveal what he did. I think that would have been a lot better. Another thing is that they shouldn't have just gotten rid of Ellie and Joel, that entire story, so quickly, because that's what we fell in love with. We're not going to fall in love with Abby and Lev, or I can't remember the person's name right now, but they shouldn't have made it so we just switch sides, switch people so much. We could have just been Ellie and Joel still for this longer period, and I find it just upsetting that that's not what happens. But no, we have to be the person that kills our favorite character, and then we have to go after the person that killed her after playing as her, and end up not even killing her and let her go free and leave this character that we've known since the first game empty. It's just messed up. Now, to wrap things up, what I want to say is that I feel they just could have done it differently. They could have made this a lot better. It's just very disappointing for how long we had to wait for this and how it's probably going to continue with such a bad story. Like, I just hope that we somehow get more Ellie and Joel flashbacks, or maybe she could just wake up in the back of the car like it was all a dream. That would be nice, you know? But yeah, we're left with this shit cake, and there's not much I really else need to say. If you want to have a comment battle with me, just comment below. Yeah, that's all I really have to say. See ya.